Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Vab Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. Thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, I'm going to be taking you through the making process of this beautiful corset outfit I made for a client for her traditional marriage. This video is going to be a very detailed one, from the drafting to cutting and to sewing, and even up to the materials used to achieve this lovely outcome. I hope this is something you're interested in learning. If this is it, please make sure to keep on watching till the end. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly and quickly hit on the subscribe button to subscribe. And ensure you put on your notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. So without wasting much of your time, let's get right into the video. Thank you. These are the materials we'll be using. First is the lace fabric. It's a luxury lace fabric. It is fully beaded. We're going to be using this for the skirt and also for the lace placement on the corset. And this is a satin. We're going to be using this for the lining and also to create the casings for the boning. And here I have this green net that we're going to use to achieve this emerald green effect on the corset part. And this is a skin tone net we'll be using for the yoke and for the basic sleeves. So, and this is the corset mesh. I'm going to be making use of this corset mesh to achieve that firmness of the corset. And here I have my Regilin boning. It's a sewable boning. We're going to be using this boning to create structure on the corset and also on the cuffs. So the other materials we're going to be using in this project, I'm going to show us in the course of this video. Here are the measurements we'll be working with. First is the shoulder measurement and it is 15 inches. Bust measurement is 34 inches. Under bust measurement is 26.5. Waist measurement is 26 inches. Upper hip measurement, which is the lower waist, that's where our waist bone is, and that is 34 inches. Then the round hip measurement, which is the fullest part of the hip, and that is 36. Then shoulder to nipple point, which is shoulder to bust point, that's 10.5. Shoulder to under bust is 13.5. Then the front half length is 17 inches, while the back half length is 15 inches, which is a difference of 2 inches. The corset length, which is the top length, that's 22 inches. Then nipple to nipple, which is also known as bust span, that's 7 inches. So the skirt length is 42 inches, and the skirt will come later. Okay. So I want to talk about the waist measurement. We want to make a corset, and we need to achieve that waist cinching effect. So to achieve that waist cinching effect, here I have the new waist measurement. I reduced 2 inches from the actual waist measurement, and that is why I have 24 inches here. So 24 inches is the new waist measurement we are going to be working with. So please let's take note of this. So her actual waist measurement, which is 26 inches, is not what we are going to be working with in this project. We're going to be working with 24 inches to achieve that waist cinching effect. Okay. So that's for our measurement. So the first thing I'm going to do is to draw our starting line first. Okay. So having drawn the starting line, which is the shoulder line, I'm just going to draw a border line here. Next, I'm going to mark the chest line. So from the shoulder line, I'll mark the chest line, which is 8 inches. To get the chest line, which is 8 inches, to get the chest line, divide your bust circumference by 6 plus 2.5, you get your chest line. Next, I'm going to mark the nipple point. Shoulder to nipple point is 10.5. Shoulder to under bust is 13.5. Shoulder to front half length is 17 inches. Okay, so the corset length, the top length is 22 inches. So I'm going to straighten out all my lines. So now that I have done this, I'll come here to the shoulder line, placing my tape from the center front, which is the shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 7.5. And I'll also mark the neck width of 3 inches. So at this shoulder measurement, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches for the front shoulder slant. And then I'll connect it to the neck width I have here. Okay. So I'll come here to the chest line and also enter the shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 7.5. And then I'm going to connect to the shoulder slant like this. So this is our front armhole line now. So here on the chest line, I'm going to enter the bust measurement divided by 4. And the bust we're working with is 34 inches. So when you divide by 4, you have 8.5. I'll mark it here. So on this chest line now, I will go up by 3 inches. And then at this 3 inches mark, I will go in by 3/4 of an inch. This is to eliminate any gathering around the armhole area. And this is for the front armhole. I'll use my straight ruler to connect it to the shoulder slant like this. You see? So that is it. And then I'll bring in my armhole curve and connect from this point to this point now. So I'll place my armhole curve correctly and then I'll connect like this. So now we have this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark the bust pan, which is the nipple to nipple measurement. And the bust pan divided by 2 is 3.5. So I'll mark 3.5 here. I'll mark 3.5 also on the bust line. I'll mark it on the waistline. I'll bring it down to the corset length here. So I'm just going to use my straight ruler to connect the point. Please take note that I started entering the 3.5 from the bust line. So this is bust line. Let me label it on the bust, waistline, and then corset length, that's CL. Okay. So I'll use my straight ruler to connect the points like this. Okay. So having drawn this line, the next thing I'm going to do now is to enter the bust measurement. So the bust measurement divided by 4 is 8.5. So I'll mark here on 8.5. So now the next thing we're going to do now is to tighten the underbust. And to tighten the underbust, we have a formula for doing that, which makes it a lot easier. So that you don't just say use 1.5 here or use 1 inch here, because it depends on the size you are working with. If you're making for a plus size, it may not be enough to just say take 1 inch on both sides. So a very simple way to know what to use to tighten your underbust. Now this is it. The bust measurement I'm working with is 34 inches. When you divide 34 by 4, that will give us 8.5. The underbust measurement I'm working with is 26.5 inches. When you divide this same 26.5 inches by 4, it will give us 6.625, okay? Let's just approximate it to 6.6. So right now, I'm going to subtract 6.6 from 8.5. That's I'm subtracting the underbust measurement from the bust measurement. And that gave me 1.875, which is as good as 1.9. And 1.9 is 2 inches, okay? So that's 2 inches. So now it is safe to say that I have 2 inches, which is the difference between the underbust and the bust measurement. So here I'm going to divide these 2 inches by 2 and place 1 on this side, place 1 on this side. So this is also applicable to a plus size. Just get the difference of the person and place it on both sides, okay? So here I have 2 inches. So I'm going to mark 1 inch on this side. This is 1 inch. Now, this is our center front and this is the side front. So I'll mark 1 inch on this side and then I'll mark 1 inch on this side. So you can see I have 2 inches. So I'll do the same thing on the waistline. 1 inch and then 1 inch. I'll do the same thing on the corset length. 1 inch, 1 inch. So I'm basically taking 1 inch all the way down. So I'm just going to bring this down. So this is it. So from the bust line here, from the bust point here, I will come down by ½ inch. Just come down by ½ inch from the bust line here, and then I'll bring in my armhole curve and connect like this. So from the underbust here, I want the curve to touch this ½ inch mark I came down by. And then I'll also do the same thing on this side. So here we are. Okay, so we have tightened the underbust. So the next thing we want to do is to tighten the overbust. And to do that, first we're going to mark our neck width. Already I said the neck width I'm working with is 3 inches. So I have 3 inches here. I'll come down by the neck depth of same 3 inches. So the front neckline is 3 by 3. So I'm going to mark like this. So now we have our neckline. So I'm going to get the measurement I have here from the neck width to the shoulder tip. So I'll just fold my tape into two so that I get the midpoint. So here's the midpoint at this point. So I will use my straight ruler to connect from the shoulder slant to the bust point here. Okay, so this is it. So now I'm going to tighten the overbust. And to get the overbust, I'm going to have to measure the distance I have from the bust point to the under bust point. It gives you your overbust line, okay? So here I have a distance of 3 inches. So I will go up by the same 3 inches. You can decide to go up with extra half inch. That's here I have 3 inches. You can add half inch to it. That's if you want it more covered, but I'll be working with exactly 3 inches. So here I'm going to rule this line. So now this is the overbust line. So let's label it OB. Okay. Okay, so now we want to tighten the overbust. So on this side of this is now our center front and this is the side. So on this side, I'm going to mark half inch. And then on this side, I'm going to mark the same half inch here. And I'll bring in my armhole curve using the part that is not too curvy to connect. Anything? And then next, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So this is it. So next I'm going to mark the bust bridge. Okay. So I'm going to come here now from the center front here. This is the bust line. I'm going to mark half inch like this. I'm going to be using let me use my pencil. So at this point I'll mark half inch. And then I'll go up here and also mark half inch. That's on the chest line. I'm marking half inch on the chest line and on the bust line. So I'm just going to use my straight ruler to connect the points. So this is going to serve as the bust bridge. Okay. So now we want to have our sweetheart neckline to create the yoke. So to create the yoke, this depends on how deep you want the yoke to be. So the easy measurement to work with is your cleavage measurement. That's from the, because here now, this neckline is stopping exactly at the neck bone. So from there, you take the measurement of your cleavage and decide how covered you want this to be. So from this point, I will come down by 5 inches. So that means I'm working with the chest line exactly. Okay, let's do, okay, from the chest. Look, that means I'm okay. Let me work with 5.5. So I'll make it 5.5. So let me mark 5.5. So this is 5.5. So I'll bring in my armhole curve and connect. Just watch carefully what I'm doing. Can you see? I'm going to connect like this. You want the sweetheart neckline to come out well. And then, so from this part, which is the chest line here, can you see this is our chest line? I will come down by 1/4 of an inch. From the chest line, I'm coming down by 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to draw a line here for now. Let's leave this line first. I came down by 1/4 inch here on this line. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is to enter all the horizontal measurements. So to do that, I'll place my tape from the center front here on the bust line. The bust measurement divided by 4. I've marked it here already, which is 8.5. Next, the underbust measurement divided by 4 is 6.6. We're working with underbust measurement of 26.5, so that's 6.6. So I'll mark here on 6.6. And then I'm going to replace the dart intake. I'll come out by 2 inches, which is our dart intake. So I'll mark it here. Next is the waist measurement. The waist measurement we are working with is 24 inches, which is the new waist measurement. And so when you divide 24 by 4, that will give us 6 inches. And then our dart intake of 2 inches, I will replace it back. Then the hip measurement divided by 4. The upper hip measurement is 34 inches. So divided by 4, that's 8.5. So plus 2 inches for my dart intake. You want to make sure to replace it back. So having done that, I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect the points. So I'll connect. And this is what we have. Okay. So I'll connect it like this. You understand? So this is what we have for now. So you can see that the waist is going inwards because it has been snatched. So now that we have done this, now we want to create the curve on this side. So to do that, I'm just going to come in here Now, this is where our armhole measurement stops. This is where the armhole measurement actually stops. Can you see this part, the shoulder measurement from here to here? So this is it. So I'm just going to measure this part. I have 1 inch. So I'll get the midpoint of this 1 inch, which is half inch. I get the midpoint here. Okay. So next, I'm just going to bring in my armhole curve and connect to this 1/4 inch I came down by. You see, I'm connecting the other side. So this midpoint I got here is the point where the cup will stop. So the side cup. So I'll place my curve this way and then connect it like this. Can you see? So this is our side cup. So for the center cup, you can see that we already have a bust bridge. So I will place the armhole curve like this also and make sure that it touches that half inch that I marked for the bust bridge. So now this is our center cup and this is the side cup. Okay, so the essence of getting the midpoint here, this is because we have more bust. Our bust is bigger at the side compared to the center. I hope we understand that. So now if we take this measurement, you will see what we have. Here we have 4 inches on this side. This on the bust line, we have 4 inches. So you can see that here we have 3 inches. So by getting the midpoint of the shoulder line, this is the shoulder measurement to the armhole. That's where the bust measurement stops. So I got the midpoint and then I created it. I curved it. So you can see that that automatically gives you that extra 1 inch that our bust has on the side. So here I have 3 inches, here I have 1 inch. The side cup is always bigger. Okay, so this is what we have here for our front. So this is now our yoke. You see, and this is the center cup. So you can label the CC, then here side cup. Okay, so this is what we have for the front piece. So I won't cut it out yet. So let's draft the back first. Okay, so first I'm going to draw a line here to demarcate the front from the back. So having drawn the demarcation line, I'm going to decide how big the back is going to be. This is our center front and this is going to be our center back. Never ever should you allow your center back face the side here. So it must always be, this is center front, center back will be on this side. So to get the width of the box, I'm going to be using the biggest measurement we are working with, which is 34 inches. So 34 divided by 4, that will give me 8.5. So I'll add 2 inches to that measurement. So that will give me, I'll add 2 inches to that measurement. That will give me 10.5. So I'll just measure 10.5 here. So now this line I have here is CB, center back line. Okay, so these are center back line. So all our measurements will start from this side. When we're doing the front, we're coming this way. Now we're going this way. Okay, so now we're going to enter all our vertical measurements. So from the shoulder line, I'm going to mark the chest line. And the chest line is 8 inches. So this is 8 inches here. Our back half length is 15 inches. So now the back corset length is going to be 20 inches. Remember that the front corset length is 22 inches. This is because of the difference between the back half length and the front half length, which I already said is 2 inches. So the back corset length is 20 inches, not 22 inches, because we're going to still enter our bust dart here at this point. That is why we have not cut out the front yet. Okay, so I'll come here and mark my 20 inches, which is the corset length at the back. So I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect the points like this. Okay, so having done this, the next thing we're going to do now is to enter the shoulder measurement. So take note of where I'm placing my tape from. I'm placing it from the center back. So the shoulder measurement divided by 2 is 7.5. And then the neck width I'm working with is the same 3 inches. So I will come down from this shoulder measurement by 1 inch. This is for our shoulder slant. The back shoulder slant is 1 inch. Okay, so having done this, I'll come to the chest line and mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2 also. So come here and connect. So now I'll use my straight ruler to connect to this point. So now we have our back armhole. Can you see that the lines are corresponding? Can you see that? So the chest line should be on the same line. I hope we understand that. Okay, so having done that, I'll get the midpoint of the back armhole. So you can see from the shoulder slant to this point, I have 7 inches. So the midpoint is 3.5. And then I will go in by half inch. The back, you go in by half inch. I'll connect it to the shoulder tip like this. And then on the chest line here, I'm going to mark the bust measurement divided by 4, which is 8.5. So I'm going to curve the angle to meet the 8.5 mark I have here. So here we are. Okay, so now we have the back armhole. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to enter the bust pan, which is the nipple to nipple measurement. So from the center back here on the waistline, I'm going to enter the nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is 3.5. I'll mark the same thing on the corset length, 3.5. I will do the same thing on the chest line, 3.5. I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect the points. So now this is it. So we're going to be doing our dart intake at the back. So at the back here, I'm going to mark half inch on both sides of the bust pan line. So having marked half inch on both sides, I'm going to bring in my straight ruler and connect to this point. That I'm just going to bring the dart now down here and then down here. So on the chest line, I'm going to come down by half inch and then connect the dart also. Okay. So this is our back dart. So now we'll go ahead and enter all our measurements. So here on the chest line, I already have the bust measurement divided by 4, which is 8.5. So on the waistline, I'm working with the new waist measurement of 24 inches, and that is 6 inches. So 24 divided by 4 is 6 inches. I'll replace the dart of 1 inch. I'll bring it back here. And then on the corset length, which is the hip measurement divided by 4 is 8.5. So I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect the points like this. So this is what our back looks like. And you see? So this is what our back looks like. So now the next thing we're going to do is to create the opening we're going to have at the back, because we're going to be lacing this corset. We're going to have eyelets at the back of the corset. So here on the chest line, I will come in by 1.5 inches. On the waistline here, I will come in by the same 1.5 inches. And then on the length of the top here, I will come in by half inch. So I'm going to mark it like this. And then this is it. So this is the part. So this is the part we're going to cut out. We're going to have our eyelet sitting here. You see that? So we'll cut out this part. Cut. So this part will be taken away because we'll have our eyelet sitting here. So the next thing we want to do now is to create the yoke of the back. Take note that everything I said, I did it from the chest line here. So for the neckline at the back, I'm working with a neck depth of 1 inch. So I'll mark 1 inch. We already have the neck width of 3 inches. So I'm just going to connect it like this. So the whole of this part from the chest line here is going to be our back yoke. So this is what the back yoke is going to look like. So the whole of this part is going to be the back yoke. Okay, so for the back yoke, we're going to have button loops like this. So it will connect to the other side. So whatever it is we have here at the back, we'll need 2 pieces. Can you see? So we have our button loops here. So it doesn't have to be as plenty as this. I'm just trying to tell us that we're going to have our button loops at the back here. So this is what our back looks like, and this is our front. So remember I talked about having a difference between the front and back half length, okay? So, which is 2 inches. What caused the difference between the front and back half length is the bust that is in front, and that is 2 inches. So if we leave our pattern like this, they will not match up because you can see that the back is shorter. So when we join them together, there's going to be a shortage. So to take care of that difference, I will need to enter the bust dart, which is 2 inches. So this is the front bust line. I will come down by 2 inches here on the bust point line. 2 inches. So I'll mark 2 inches here. Can you see? So I'll mark 2 inches here. And then I'm going to connect with my straight ruler to the nipple to nipple measurement, which is the bust pan measurement here. Can you see? So I'll connect it. So this is our bust dart now. Okay, so I haven't got the bust dart. I will get the midpoint. Of course, it's 2 inches, so the midpoint is 1 inch. So at this 1 inch mark, I will come in by 3/4 of an inch. You see, I will come out by 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect it to the underbust point like this. This is to indicate, to show that there's a dart there because we're going to be closing the dart. So I connected it to the underbust point and then I'll connect it to the chest line. Okay, so this is it. So now we have taken care of the difference between the front and back because we're going to be closing this dart. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here is to give the hem of our top a nice shape. You don't want to leave it sharp like this. So at this point, I'm just going to go up by, you can go up by ½ inch, you can go up by 1 inch, 3/4 inch, depending on what you want to achieve. For me, I'll be going up by 3/4 of an inch, just so that the curve, the down part is not sharp. Okay, so I'll curve it like this. So this is it. So you can see the shape I have here is looking nicer. So I'll also go by 3/4 of an inch at the back here, and then I'll also curve it to meet the dark leg here. So we are good right now. Okay, so we're done drafting our front and our back pattern. So I'll bring in my scissors and we'll cut them out. Okay, so now that we have cut out this part, so we want to close the bust dart. So let me just separate the front pattern from the back like this. So to close the bust dart, all you need to do, this is the bust dart here. I'm just going to fold it. You can cut it out or you fold it like I am doing. Can you see? So you want to make sure that this line that is here touches the bust line. Can you see what has happened here? So now you can see that by doing this, everything has shifted. And you see that the side cup has shifted, the side measurement has shifted. So that's the essence of that extra 3/4 of an inch I came out by the side here. Okay, so I'll bring in my masking tape and tape it down. I want to close the bust dart. So I haven't taped it down, so I'm going to now reblend the bust, that's the side cup here. So I'll bring in my armhole curve and then I'm going to reblend it. So every point that has shifted, you will need to replace it back. So just reblend the shape like this. Can you see? So now we have our side cup, and then you can see that this line too has shifted. So we need to reblend it back like this. You see? So now this is now our new side line. I hope you understand. This is very, very simple. If you pay attention to details, you will understand exactly what I have done here. So I'll now cut out the side cup. Okay. So I'll also cut out the center cup from here. So this is it. So now you need to use arrows to indicate. This is the part that will be joining to this. You can see I already labeled the side cup, center cup. So I'll just use my arrow to indicate that will be joining here to here. Okay, you don't want to have any, you don't want to confuse them, even though these ones are just clear, but this is to avoid any form of confusion. So these are centerpiece, side piece. Okay, so you can see. So I'll go ahead and cut out the front yoke. These are front pieces. So now these are front pieces. So we'll go ahead and cut out the back patterns also. So starting from here, remember I said we're cutting out this part. Okay, so now this is our yoke. For the yoke, you want to make sure to take note of this point. On the fabric, you can notch it or write it down here. Remember, I came in by 1.5 here, this part that we're cutting out. So you want to make sure to indicate 1.5 here, so that when you are joining the yoke to the down part, you will make sure that you leave 1.5 inches out on your yoke, because you don't want to come in more or go out more, so that it balances well. Remember that this is her accurate measurement. Okay, so this is it now. So here I have the back yoke, so I'll cut it out as well. Have our pattern sets ready. So this is the back here. So I'm going to cut out the dart. So if you want to make the back dartless, that's if you don't want to join them together, you can decide to close the dart like this. You see, you can decide to close the dart. So you cut out one piece for your back. But if you want to join them together, feel free to cut it open, which is what I'm going to be doing. I want to join them together. So I'm going to cut this part open. We need to label this center piece. This is the center, and this is the side. So you want to make sure to indicate, you can see they are looking the same. So you want to indicate which side you are joining to which side. So I will use my arrow this way and to indicate that I'll be joining it this way. And then you want to also know which side is up. This is up and this is up. So you don't want to make any mistake. So we're joining these two sides together. So this is the side we're joining together and this is up. So we already know that the part we didn't put arrow is the down, and then this is the center back. So our patterns are ready. So I'm going to place on my fabric and cut out all the pieces. I'll be adding half inch, just half inch, round all these patterns. It is just half inch I need. I'm not adding anything more than half inch, half inch, half inch on all the patterns. And then I'll show us in our next video how to sew our pieces together. Okay, so we are done with the cutting part of this video. In my next video, I'm going to be showing us how to stitch our pieces together to achieve this beautiful and neatly tailored corset you see right here on the table. So if you have found value in this video and you have learned something, please make sure to like this video, share this video with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. And also ensure to put on your notification bell so you receive a notification once I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in my next video. Bye.